Sometime in 2015, I built the Destiny's Bounty 2.0. I was happy with it, and I put it on YouTube. But after a while, my building skills improved, and I wanted to remake it. Sadly, I looked at my first model, took a whole bunch of the pieces off of that, and reused them in my new model. And I gotta say, this new one looks pretty good. This model is bigger, more detailed, and is extremely show accurate. From the slope of the hull, to the red dot on the bridge, to the blue wires connected to the solar panels on the engine. Everything on this is point-to-point accurate towards the show. And I should know, I've studied many clips and looked at as many angles that I can to get it to look like this. I originally started building this with the hull upside down. And a whole bunch of good techniques instead of building straight on up. A whole bunch of the sides are built sideways to go ahead and get that nice, good, sleek look. Looking at the front hull, it is nice and smooth, and going to the other side, you have your vent or grill on the side. Moving on to the head is fierce, nice and sleek, and has a good look to it. Even has the two simple horns on the back, and I gotta say, I think I got this angle pretty good. Moving towards the nose, it has some flamethrowers, I guess that's what they're called, sticking out, and I gotta say, this looks pretty good. Moving to the back of that, you have a nice good deck. A lot of room to put as many minifigures here that you want, to have some good action scenes. Going to the mast, this is show accurate, all the way up to this one point where I had to do some compromising to make it work. This thing is so heavy, I had to add a string to it to make sure it stays still. While this does look pretty good, it is quite wobbly, so you're going to have to keep an eye on that. Moving on to the middle, to the guns, while there are supposed to be 6 of them here, I only had enough room for 2 of them. Since it's so crowded, you can't technically do all hands on deck, but you can add a few minifigures here if you want to shoot down some dragons if they're trying to board. Going on to the bridge, this thing is beautiful. The side walls are built sideways, so you have that nice thin look, and it goes down and it blends into the bottom hull. Going inside the bridge, you have enough room to stand a minifigure, to drive, to work the computer, or push whatever buttons to your heart desires. Moving on to the roof, it has a nice good angle to it, and I think I got all the angles of it correctly. Looking onto the back, you have your windows and your lanterns and all the beautiful detail that is needed right here. Since we're at the back, let's take a look at the harpoon. You can easily fit a minifigure here to shoot whoever you need to shoot. Granted, I have no idea why you need specifically a harpoon here, but it's in the show, so I added it. Moving down a smidge, the only thing I may have to criticize is the engine is not sticking out far enough. But granted, for what I have, I think it turned out pretty good. This is maybe my favorite part of this place, the sloping here on the back. This one brick right here is being held together by one stud, so make sure you don't have any little kids poking at this. Speaking about weakness, this back hull is fragile. Every time when I pick it up, you have to carefully slide your hands underneath it and keep it perfectly balanced. Actually, when I was building this, the side hull actually came apart, and I had to use one finger and a brick separator to try to press it back together. You can see it's still loose, as I wasn't able to fully put it together. Sometime down the line, I'm going to hollow out the back, make it stronger and more lightweight. One thing I plan on doing when I rebuild this is use this Lego Technic joint piece to make the engine stronger. Because whatever I have now, while it is show accurate, it is extremely weak and it cannot hold up the engines for flight mode. I need to make a small compromise to make sure these engines are strong and stay connected and not be leaning off when you pick it up. Moving on to the engines, they're slightly bigger and more sleek. I gotta say, I love how this turned out. One thing I am concerned about is these solar panels are extremely fragile and can move easily. So one flick and they move. I'm actually kind of paranoid because every single shot I'm having to realign this and make sure they look straight and even. All in all, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. The hull is beautiful, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. We're having barely any cracks or crevices in these areas. So it almost looks like a nice, good, sleek design. I'm quite happy with how this turned out, and I gotta say, as of right now, this is probably the most detailed Destiny's Bounty 2.0 on the internet. If any of you want to change it, I would love to see it. Actually, post it on YouTube, send me a link, I would love to see it because the Destiny's Bounty is my favorite ship. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you love it, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to, share this video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and you all have a good day.